Welcome to the All Average Wrestling Show. I'm your host, Brandon B.T. Taylor. Been a hot minute. It has been a hot minute since my last recording. Shit happens. Shit happens. But, hey, new look, new format. See how it goes. This is our WWE Backlash prediction preview show, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But that's what it is. But before we get into Backlash, there's some other stuff I kind of want to get into first. AEW. Is Darby Allin as AEW champion hurt in AEW right now? The ratings had dropped. The title for most fans has plummeted in value. As for a lot of people, it feels like it's a TV title more than it's a world title. So my question to viewers here and anyone that listens and watches on YouTube or listens on Spotify, wherever the hell you want to listen to it on, is Darby Allin hurt in AEW as their champion? My answer is yes. I think the booking of Darby Allin as a whole as champion has been very questionable. He's willing to face any and all comers, but when it comes to MJF, he's acting like a cowardly heel. It makes no sense, and especially now that you're doing title versus hair, which that's a big letdown to begin with. But who is Darby truly elevated as champion? Yes, he's had a few defenses so far, but who is he truly elevated? Tommaso Ciampa's playing third fiddle to FTR now. Kevin Knight is still TNT champion. He didn't really go up or down here. And as of right now, based on everything's looking, Brody King is probably not going to be on the Double or Nothing card. The only entryway probably to that is the god-awful Stadium Stampede match they announced last night on Dynamite. That's probably his only pathway. Other than that, I can't think of where Brody King would go. So Brody King likelihood is probably going to be off the Double or Nothing pay-per-view card here. He's going to face Okada. He's not really going to do anything here. Okada's either going to go up or down. And then Pac really is not going to go up or down either. So what does this reign truly benefit here? Darby's putting on good matches. He is putting on good matches. Doesn't mean he's a good champion. And you can be a good champion without having good matches. Example, Roman Reigns is the tribal chief, his 2-year reign. Okay. You could probably pick out maybe 3 matches that were actually like really, really good. The rest were all average, below average. So just because you put on great matches doesn't mean you're a great champion. And I get what AEW and Tony Khan are trying to do. They're trying to stack up Darby's defenses before Double or Nothing. When they take the title off him, they can turn around and be like, well, you know what? He defended the title this many times. He was a great world champion. When reality speaking, he hasn't been a good world champion. He's technically been bad for business so far as champion. And yeah, the likely plan is to go back to MJF, but MJF is cold as ice right now. You're not going to recapture what you had with MJF before you did the useless title switch. So right now, you're heading to Double or Nothing with a below average world champion and an ice cold challenger right now. So is Darby Allin as AEW champion hurt in AEW? Yes. Could you effectively, severely hurt MJF so far? The ratings are down. The attention to AEW has gone down. You can argue the quality of AEW as a whole has gone down since Darby became champion. They have not had a good stretch of television these past few weeks. Like, yeah, Darby's match is good, but one good match doesn't make up for an entire show. Is that unfair to put on Darby Allin there? Yeah, probably. But let's use it as sports here. When the Los Angeles Lakers lose in the playoffs, even though LeBron has been their best player, all the blame goes on LeBron. He's their franchise guy. He's their top guy right now. Darby Allin right now is their hand-appointed franchise guy, top guy right now as their world champion. So is it fair that it falls on Darby Allin? No. Is it going to fall on Darby Allin? Yes. All the negatives right now with AEW since Darby has been champion falls directly on Darby. Fairly or unfairly, doesn't matter. That's just how it is. That's how it is in sports. That's how it is in pretty much everything in the world. The main figurehead, your world champion, the top guy, that's where all the blame gets placed on. Example, reporters from Fightful. I'm using Fightful as an example here. They can have reporters tweet out and say stupid shit. Guess what? Everyone's just going to blame Sean Ross Sapp. Is it unfair to Sapp? Fuck yeah. But that's just how it is because he is the face, he is the figure, he's the appointed guy of Fightful. And that is what Darby Allin is right now with AEW. All of AEW's issues right now, they fall on Darby. Fairly or unfairly, it's on Darby right now. Because Darby Allin right now is the face of AEW. He is their anointed face of AEW as their world champion. That's it. Another thing before, and this is not just a shit on AEW the whole time, because we're going to get to WWE right now. Before we hit the Backlash, what is your confidence level in Triple H as head of creative in WWE? This could probably be like a more broader thing here. We had a bunch of releases lately. Confidence in WWE has hit to an all-time low. You had the New Day, long time. People thought they would be lifers, gone. Aleister Black, Zelina Vega, gone. The entire Wyatt Six, gone. Triple H, as head of creative, couldn't figure out anything from most of these guys. He butchered the New Day heel turn run. To a point, there was no return for them as heels. And you probably couldn't return them as baby faces because their babyface run was growing still before they did the turn. He couldn't figure anything out for Aleister Black. In the less than a year he was there, the most significant thing Aleister Black did was a feud with Damian Priest, in which he threw a fireball in Damian Priest's eye. That was it. Yeah, he got a win over Randy Orton. Then after that, he pretty much disappeared. Kairi Sane's been back for a while. She's gone. You couldn't finish that storyline. They're probably going to finish the storyline this week in a Backlash. I'll get into that one later on. But these releases all coincide into your confidence level as with Triple H as head of creative in WWE. And here's why. For people sitting there, well, I don't get why they released this guy. Well, this guy is my favorite. How they butchered this guy. Guess what all that falls on? That falls on creative. They couldn't utilize anyone that got released. They either couldn't utilize, or in some people's case, they just weren't that good. They didn't fit WWE right now. Or in Zoe Stark's case, injured. So it's not totally on Triple H in creative here, but the main ones, the main releases, the Wyatt Six, Aleister Black, the New Day, Kairi Sane, that falls on creative not being able to utilize them properly to a point that they were able to become expendable releases, or in the New Day case, walk up to and say, hey, we need you to take a pay cut. Less than a year after signing an extension. because that's what creative and WWE did to the New Day. They tanked their value within the company to TKO. And that's why they got presented with a pay cut. And rightfully so, they declined, and they're on their way to free agency, where they'll likely be in AEW. God knows if they'll work out there or anything, but they're on their way to AEW. Let's not kid ourselves here. But let's get on to mainly everything else here. Backlash is this Saturday. Aside from Fatu versus Reigns, and to a degree, some people may not even be sold on that one. Is there anything going on at Backlash this weekend that gets you excited? Is there anything? Is there anything tomorrow night on SmackDown that makes you want to sit back and watch SmackDown tomorrow night? Or Monday Night Raw next week? No. We're back to going through the motions. Obafemi post WrestleMania. Yeah, maybe this open challenge stuff will be interesting, but it's not off to a good start. All you're telling us is you didn't really have a plan for Oba post Brock. That's uncreative. The confidence level in Triple H, I think, is low for a lot of fans right now. And not to be so doom and gloom here, since we're on two negative ass topics to kick off this show. What reason have Triple H and WWE give you for your confidence level to be high right now? Yes, WrestleMania Night 2 was great. You had a good WrestleMania Night 2. WrestleMania Night 1 was okay. Main event was, but it was an okay show. That clearly wasn't enough to regain confidence from fans. The releases are a prime example of creative mishaps. Some of them, not all of them. The road to Backlash right now. Backlash itself, the hype job of Backlash. A lot of people aren't sold on this. They aren't sold on the Backlash card right now. So that is what it is right now with Triple H and Creative. So my question to you, for anyone that's watching, I want you to really think about is, what is your actual confidence level in Triple H's head of creative? Not, oh, well, he's better than the alternative. No. What is your confidence level right now? Is watching Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown a must for you if you're not doing content here? If you're just a regular fan, is it something where you got to make it a point? You got to put it in your schedule. I got to sit down at 8:00 on a Monday night or a Friday night and watch Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. If the answer is no, your confidence level in Triple H's head of creative is very, very low. If your answer is a yes, the confidence level is there. Unless you're a content creator, where if you're doing the content here with WWE or AEW, you got to actually watch this stuff. You got to. So regardless of what your confidence level really is or not, if you're a content creator, you still got to watch it. But as you, the fan, people who are not in this space, ask yourself, what is your confidence level? Are you enjoying WWE right now in 2026? There's some highs, there's some lows. SmackDown's basically unwatchable. Raw is okay. SmackDown's unwatchable. Figure out your confidence level. But with that said, we are on to Backlash. Not that much. So we're going to kick it off here. United States Championship match. Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn, a rematch from WrestleMania. Tomorrow night on SmackDown, we have the funeral of the Gingerbread Man, R.I.P. King, right there. This one seems very easy to predict here. Trick should win this match. This should probably do the double turn that's been rumored. Sammy turns heel, Trick turns face. Feels like this is where you got to do it. Because at that point, Trick would be 2-0 on Sammy. And you're not having Sami Zayn beat Trick Williams here. So give me Trick Williams with the win here. I think this will probably be unfair to people this one, but a lot of people probably treat this as the let's go refill our snacks break, sadly. But this should be an interesting contest rematch here for WrestleMania. But give me Trick Williams for the win here. Next match, Danhausen and Mystery Partner versus Miz and Kit Wilson. My prediction for the partner, I think, will end up being CM Punk. And I think Danhausen and Punk will win this. I can't see them having Danhausen lose his pay-per-view PLE debut here. And this feud between Danhausen and Miz has been fun. It's probably been the only bright spot with SmackDown right now. But I mean, this is going to come to an end. Feels like this is probably it for it, if I had to guess. But give me Danhausen and his partner. I believe he'll be CM Punk for the win here. Next match, Seth freaking Rollins versus Braun Breaker. This should be Braun Breaker for the win here. I'm actually going with Braun Breaker for the win here. I don't see the argument in Seth Rollins winning this match here. And this is why. You left Breaker off of Mania. He was cleared. Because you need Seth Rollins. You needed to get Gunther on the card. So you had Seth Rollins lose the Braun Breaker. But you also can't sit here and tell me this. We were told by reports the reason they didn't want to do Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker was because they didn't have enough time to build it up. Even though it was a built-in story already. Keep in mind here, Rollins Breaker post WrestleMania has practically had the same amount of build-up time as Rollins Gunther. So that was a load of shit right there. I wish they were just honest. I wish the reporting was just honest. The whole point the Rollins Breaker did not happen at WrestleMania, where it should have, was because they had nothing for Gunther at Mania. Because Rey Mysterio said, no, he's not ending my career. And Chris Jericho wasn't walking through that door. So let's tell the truth on why Seth Rollins Braun Breaker did not happen at WrestleMania. Because it had nothing to do with proper build-up time. This match is going to be, if I'm correct, going to be on ESPN2. And with that said, I think this could be the match of the night. I believe it's going to be it's a two-match race here for match of the night. It'll be this one and the match I'm going to get to next. But Rollins' whole goal here should be making Braun Breaker look like $1 million. You're going to have the rematch eventually, probably at Saturday Night Main Event and Clash at Italy. But Braun Breaker should win tonight. Not tonight. This Saturday. Braun Breaker should run through Rollins, set up the rematch at Saturday Night Main Event, and then you can go and do the trilogy in Italy if you want. But Braun Breaker should be winning tonight. Why do I keep saying tonight? Braun Breaker should be winning this Saturday at Backlash. And then the other match, I believe here that it's up for match of the night. Io Sky versus Asuka. I think they're going to get time here. Io, I think, is going to win this. We're going to get a Kairi Sane appearance, I think, to just wrap up that end of the story. For Asuka, it's been a long time since we've seen Asuka in a singles match on a PLE. Been a very long time. These two are going to tear the house down. It's going to be between Breaker and Rollins, or this match. I'm leaning towards this match as the match of the night. Io needs the win here. I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, Asuka there's no momentum, this, and the other. You just left Io Sky off WrestleMania after the year she had. You can't turn around and have her lose to Asuka here. So I'm going with Io Sky to win here. What you do next with Io, probably you go to Live. I think you end up doing the Live match at maybe Clash in Italy as you slow build towards Liv versus Roxanne at some point. But give me Io for the win here and your main event of Backlash for the World Heavyweight Championship, Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu. This one seems rather, probably outside from the Danhausen match, probably the easiest to predict here. Roman Reigns should be retained here. Roman Reigns is going to retain here. There's no point, unless Roman's completely going away, there's no point in Jacob Fatu winning this match. There isn't. Roman should win here. I don't know if I have any interest in Jacob joining the bloodline or the first family, whatever they're calling themselves now. But out of all the matches on this card, this is the one I am the most hyped for. It has been the best built, and that's saying something considering every other match on this card has been up and down when it comes to build. I think Jacob's going to look really strong here, but Roman's going to pull it out here at the end. I don't know if you go Jacob Fatu again. If you're doing a rematch, won't be Saturday main event in Italy. I don't know if that's where you go with this. I don't think this will be the end between those two, but I don't think Jacob's winning in this match. He will not. I don't think he's winning the Backlasher. So that is your Backlash predictions. And that is all. That is all for the time being. Quick show here, about a half hour in and out. Till next time. Adios.